Good afternoon. My name is Margaret Shields, and on behalf of First Christian Church, welcome you to this holiday concert by Music Art Institute. So happy to be able to host this event this year. I will now turn it over to Dick.
Hello, everyone. We're so glad you're here. Thank you to the First Christian Church for once again hosting our event here, the Music Arts Institute Christmas Concert. And it's so good to be back after 19 months of COVID break. It's good to be back in person and see all your smiling holiday-filled faces here ready to go with a great afternoon of all the music we have. My name is Dick Wilson, as she said. I'm a member of the board at Music Arts Institute and have had children go through the school in years and years. I saw that the True Tones from the high school are on the program today. My daughter Miranda sang with them maybe 15 years ago or so, I think. Today's concert has a good lineup for you. So see, we have harp, we have jazz, we have children singing, high school students singing, and you will be singing a little later on too. And hopefully that will turn out okay for us here also. Today's concert will be featuring the MAI Chamber Choir. They're composed of high school students that are taking private lessons at Music Arts Institute in voice and piano and other instruments. And as I said, the True Tones will be here. They will be joining them, assisted by their director, Kim Carson, and local artist and composer, Dana Mengel. Also performing will be the Meister Singers. They are the 3 through 10-year-olds, and they are just marvelous, and they are well traveled. They have sung at sporting events in the areas. They've even sung the national anthem for a NASCAR event. So these kids know what they're doing, and you'll enjoy the Meister Singers. The choirs will be performing today under the protocol of the Independent School District, which says masks for the elementary school students until January 4th, and has lifted the requirement for the middle and high school students. So you will see that happening today. Now, Music Arts Institute is always looking for some folks who would like to help some of the kids who maybe are not able to afford some of the students and or some of the classes and things that we have going here. And so we have a distinct opportunity for you today. As you see, you have envelopes in your program, and you can drop them off as you leave here today if you'd like to leave a little cash, or if you'd like to send it in later. Also, we have the QR code on the front of the envelope. You can aim your camera from your phone at that, and that'll take you right to the Music Arts Institute webpage and a place where you can donate to help out some of the students who may otherwise not be able to participate. We appreciate that. But then we also advise you to turn off your cell phones while we're here so you can work out the logistics of all that later on so that we can have all these nice recordings made without that holiday jingle bell thing you have on your ringer here today. All right. So sit back and enjoy the holiday with us. It's the Music Arts Institute Christmas Holiday Concert.
Due to COVID, we have not been able to split up our youngest from our oldest, and we have had the most unique experience with this group. We have third graders all the way to 10th graders. We have several 9th and 10th graders who keep singing with us. It allows us to do more difficult music but it's a very unique collaborative effort, and would not be possible without two other directors, Anna Orenick and Mr. Brett Faulkner, who we assist, and we can have all the parts. We don't break them up for part rehearsals. The whole rehearsal, 90 minutes, just happens with all of it together, and they're the most well-behaved kids. When we are rehearsing one part, the other parts don't talk, and that's why we're able to do so much. But I think I'm going to write an article or a book on this, because it's kind of an experimental thing to put all these grades with the older children, mentor and help the younger children. And I hope you will enjoy the product of that today.
For this child of God, our King, nothing can defeat him.
song is a pentatonic arrangement, a little bit complicated for some of these third graders are in their very first concert ever in their life.
under the sky. How Jesus the Savior did come for to die for poor hungry people like you and like I wonder as I wander out under the sky. When Mary birthed Jesus, 'twas in a cow stall, with wise men and farmers and shepherds and all. But high from God's heaven a star's light did fall, and the promise of ages it soon did recall. If Jesus would ever a star in the sky or a bird on the wing, or all of God's angels in heaven for to sing, I wonder as I wander out under the sky. I wonder as I wander out under the sky, how Jesus the Savior did come for to die for poor hungry people like you and like I wonder as I wander out under the sky.
All right, is there anyone who needs a sing-along sheet? Anyone? Got a whole bunch of extras. Got some people helping out with that. Anyone else? Please sing along. Oh, 2. It's all right. Anna. Okay. Here we go. First, we're going to do a come up.
If you look on your program, you'll notice the list of names of the songs on your left. And on the program, you have singing. On the right-hand side, it's have something a little more unusual. These are composers and arrangers. And these are more rare. And I'm here to introduce a young man who's written an astonishing, beautiful piece. His name's Adam LeBlanc. He said he was nervous, but I'm nervous. But I want to welcome him to the world of composers. See, now he's published in the poem as a composer. Look who he's up against. Not against, but with George Friedrich Handel, Felix Mendelssohn. I mean, come on, this is good company. So, when you hear his music beautifully conducted by Kim Carson, she's done a stunning and beautiful job with this. She's taken it to her heart, to learn it, to memorize it, and she's brought the love and joy to all of these wonderful, talented students. So I'll say something about the next composer, who is me. So there are two people on this right-hand side that are with us today. The rest of them are probably long gone. So it's a rare opportunity for me to introduce to you a new composer, Adam LeBlanc. And you'll get famous.
So first and foremost, I want to echo the thank yous to everyone who made this day possible. I want to start with Miss Cynthia Tiller for organizing and directing the entire event. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Mengel for not only giving me such kind words about the piece, but helping me and just being a moral support character along the way. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank Ms. Kim Carson and Ms. Linda Mann for both directing and accompanying the piece that we are very happy to sing for you today. Now, 1 year ago today, the world lost a great man. And that great man was my best friend's father. And a few months later, most of us lost a classmate as well. And it's that kind of sorrow and that kind of loss that's hard to just let pass by. And that forced me to think about how confusing, angry the grieving process can be, and how many emotions you feel, and how, at least in society today, it's kind of just normal. You know, we don't really commemorate a whole lot. It's just forgive and forget. And I just wanted to write this piece to not only change that narrative, but to provide what I would hope to be a good tribute to those we've lost, not only us, but to all of you. You know, we've all lost somebody along the way, whether they're now deceased, or they're just across the country, or maybe you just aren't as close as somebody you were once very close with. All different types of longing, but this song is for anyone who longs, hence the title. So I just want to thank all of you for coming out today, and you know, this isn't so I long. Thank you.
At the end of the storm, washing toy, like I never had before. I close my eyes, but only for a second. And when I'm done, my precious life is gone. Where do I go?
In Adam's grieving process, he discovers there's comfort. He finds, he discovers that his dear friend is safe in his heart. That is so profound. He was 16 when he wrote it. He's 17. He wanted me to make you aware of that. I take an interest in this because I was a sophomore at Truman, same school. Many years ago, I was 16 and I wrote my first composition. I mean, my first serious composition, because due to a loss of a friend who was killed in a car accident. In my grief, I found comfort in my writing, as I hoped others would, for it was performed at his memorial service days later. From then on, composing would become my passion and eventually my profession. The next piece, it's titled Peace, Peace, Heavenly Peace. And it was written in 9/11 during the tragic events of 9/11. It was later published as an Advent piece. I just real quickly, on 9/11, my wife called me from work and said, "Do you know what's going on?" I said, "No, what's going on?" She said, "Turn on the radio." I turned on the radio, and in my horror, I began to write. Peace, peace, heavenly peace, come to our world. Let the children know that you love them so. Lord, bring peace to our world. It was later performed that week, and there's nothing you can do to bring comfort, but anything is better than nothing. And when you don't have anything, a little bit is everything. And I think Adam and I discovered early what Anne Frank discovered early. On December 24th, 1943, at 16, she was nearly 16, she writes in her immortal diary, "My writing has raised me from the depths of my despair." Think about that. I want to thank again these students for performing with world-class artistry. I think Millicent would be and I believe is greatly pleased. Have peace, peace, heavenly peace.
Lord.
Well, that's, oh, peace, peace. Peace on earth. And that's the way my title of this. This is actually the Peace on Earth song, which includes the Meister singers and they sing a little song that was inspired by a monk in Austria almost exactly 200 years ago. He was delivering goods to a newborn baby. A woodsmith's son was newly born. He was bringing diapers and food and stuff to the newborn baby. And as he got to the top, to the mountain where it was storm and he got stuck in the snow. And he got to the house, it stopped snowing. The clouds parted and the moon was full and bright. So he wrote this. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. He took it immediately. It was Saturday, it was Christmas Eve. He took it, the church in Salzburg, the organ was broken. So, but he had a guitar. He went to Franz Gruber, and Franz Gruber was the organist and composer. He said, here, I've written the text, put the music to it. And that was Franz Gruber's immortal Silent Night. So this features that song in it. And so here we go.
This is our Once is a hero, cheer from everyone. Oh, song of the cheer Christmas tree. Christmas is here, bringing the cheer to the young and old, giving them the moon, giving them the moon, thousands on winter will bring home everything. Once is a year, words of cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord,
wanted to give thanks again to the First Christian Church for this wonderful space, the beautiful acoustics, and the staff are here that have helping us the whole time. It's just an amazing opportunity for music arts. I wanted to acknowledge any board members, faculty members that are here today, and also give special recognition to our executive directors, Ron and Molly Clemens, who lead the Institute and program. One of the major distinctives of Music Arts Institute, especially in the last few years, is that through many generous grants and many generous donors, corporations and foundations, we are able to offer music lessons and fully fund our ensembles and offer these opportunities to students who are musically talented but would not have the finances to afford lessons. Many people help us by paying full prices for lessons, and it just all balances out, and we are able to give generous to many of these students, and it helps us so much. And with that in mind, this year on the envelopes that were in your programs, there's a QR code. You could leave something in the envelope today, but you can scan this code, and what it does, it actually takes you to our website, and there's the PayPal for entering tuition payments. And if you scroll down just a little more, it says donate here. And just any little bit helps students. It probably costs about $500, a little over $500 to do the tuition for a choir student all year. And it is maybe like around $900 to $1,000 for a private lesson all year. And so many of these grants and our generous donations will underwrite those costs. And every time we get more donations in, we go out and sometimes we have a waiting list, and then we call people up and say, your child can have lessons. So this is a product of that. And thank you so much for attending. This was an amazing attendance today. Thank you.